Hello, everyone. A huge welcome back to English with Podcasts. I am Emma, and today we are going beyond the classroom. We are traveling across borders without even leaving our seats.
And I am Leo. Hello, Emma, and hello to our amazing listeners around the world. I've been looking forward to this all week. My bags aren't packed yet, but my heart is ready for an adventure.
That is the best way to be, Leo. Today, we are discussing a topic that is both a dream and a challenge, living in another country.
It's a huge step. It's about more than just a plane ticket. It's a whole new life. But Emma, I have a question. Is it ever really easy to start over?
That is exactly what we are going to unpack today. The stages of moving abroad. The honeymoon phase, when everything is beautiful and new. The culture shock, when the differences feel difficult. The adjustment, when you start to find your rhythm. The acceptance, when the new country finally feels like home.
I remember my honeymoon phase in Spain. I loved the buildings, the weather, the music. But then I tried to open a bank account.
Ah, yes, the paperwork. That is when the reality hits. But don't worry, because today I have not one, but 3 secrets for surviving and thriving in a new country.
3? You are being very generous today. I can't wait to hear them. Where should we begin our journey?
Let's start with the language of survival. Most people think they need perfect grammar to move, but that is a myth.
You are right. When I first arrived, I knew how to say the cat is under the table from my textbook, but I didn't know how to ask where is the trash can or which bus goes to the city center.
Exactly. Essential survival phrases. Could you speak a little slower, please? How do I get to... I'm still learning. Thank you for your patience. Could you write that down for me?
Those phrases are like a shield. They protect you from feeling embarrassed. And speaking of embarrassment, I have a confession. I once tried to buy a light bulb, but I forgot the word, so I asked for a sun in a bottle.
A sun in a bottle. Leo, that is actually very poetic. Did the shopkeeper understand?
He looked confused for a second, then he smiled and led me to the hardware section. We both had a good laugh.
See, that's my first secret, the humor hack. If you can laugh at your mistakes, people will want to help you. If you get frustrated, they might walk away.
That is so true. Laughter is a universal language. It breaks the ice instantly.
Secret number 1, the humor hack. Laugh at your mistakes. Use sign language, hand gestures. Don't be afraid to look silly. Carry a small notebook to draw what you need.
I'm very good at looking silly, so I'm halfway there. Now, what about the emotional side? Moving is lonely.
It is. We talked about being homesick, but there's also something called identity loss. You are a different person in your native language. Maybe you're funny or smart. In a new language, you might feel like a child.
That is the hardest part. I felt so small when I couldn't explain a complex idea. I felt like I lost my personality because I couldn't tell a joke properly.
It's a temporary feeling, Leo. You're just building a new version of yourself. It's like an upgrade.
I like that. Leo 2.0, now with more English.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the neighborhood connection. When you move, your apartment is your castle, but the street is your world.
Settling into the neighborhood. Find the local bakery. Learn the names of the street cleaners. Say good morning to the person walking their dog. Support the small shops nearby.
This leads to my second secret, the 15-minute rule.
Oh, is this the cafe trick you mentioned before?
It's the evolution of it. Secret number 2, the 15-minute rule. Every day, spend 15 minutes in a public space without your phone. A park bench, a library, or a bus stop.
Why no phone, Emma?
Because the phone is a wall. If you're looking at your screen, nobody will talk to you. If you're just sitting there looking at the world, you become part of the scenery. People start to notice you.
That is brilliant. It's like inviting the world to say hello. I used to go to the park and just watch people play chess. Eventually, an old man asked me if I knew how to play.
And did you?
I didn't, but he taught me. My first friend in a new country was a 70-year-old chess master.
What a beautiful story. That is a small victory. Types of small victories. Ordering a coffee without switching to your native language. Understanding a joke on the radio. Giving directions to someone else. Successfully paying a bill at the post office.
Giving directions is the ultimate victory. It means you're no longer the lost person, you're the guide.
It's a powerful feeling, but let's be honest, there are bad days. Days when it rains, the bus is late, and you just want to go back to your mom's house.
Those are the gray days. I had one of those last week, and I'm not even living abroad right now.
We all have them. For those days, you need secret number 3, the anchor box. Exactly. Secret number 3, the anchor box. Before you move, pack a small box with things that have no practical use but have high emotional value. A specific candle, a childhood toy, or a handwritten letter.
I have a small stone from the beach where I grew up. When I hold it, I feel grounded.
That is a perfect anchor. When the new world feels too fast or too loud, go to your room, open your box, and remind yourself who you are and where you came from.
It's like a battery charger for the soul.
What to put in your anchor box? Items that smell like home, spices or perfume, physical photos, not just digital ones, a piece of your old life, your favorite mug for tea.
Now, let's talk about the supermarket adventure. Grocery shopping in a new country is like a puzzle.
Oh, tell me about it. I once bought what I thought was yogurt, but it turned out to be sour cream. My breakfast was very interesting that morning.
That's a classic. Grocery store vocabulary. Aisle, the rows where food is kept. Checkout, where you pay. Produce, fresh fruits and vegetables. Expiry date, when the food goes bad.
I learned that you have to watch what the locals do. In some countries, you have to weigh your own vegetables. In others, the cashier does it.
Precisely. It's all about observation, being a detective in your own life.
What about making deep friends, Emma? Not just the people you say hi to at the supermarket.
That takes time, Emma. I found that hobbies are the best way. If you join a football team or a cooking class, you aren't the foreigner anymore. You are the midfielder or the chef.
I love that. You become defined by what you do, not where you are from.
Community hobbies. Book clubs, great for advanced vocabulary. Sports teams, great for informal slang. Volunteering, great for feeling useful and connected. Language exchanges, meeting locals who want to learn your language.
I joined a hiking club. We climbed mountains every Sunday. We didn't talk much because we were tired, but the shared experience made us friends.
That is the silent connection. Sometimes you don't need words to build a bond.
Speaking of words, let's talk about phone English. Calling a doctor or a landlord on the phone is the scariest thing for a learner.
It really is. You can't see their face or their hands. Telephone tips. Write down your main points before you call. Have your address and ID number ready. Don't be afraid to ask, could you repeat that more slowly?
I always practice my first sentence 10 times before I hit the call button. Hello, I am calling about the leak in my sink.
Good preparation. And remember, even if the conversation is difficult, you are building your confidence muscle.
My muscles must be huge by now. Let's talk about food again. Food is the fastest bridge between two cultures.
I once invited my neighbors over for a traditional dinner from my home country. I was so nervous they wouldn't like the spices.
And what happened?
They stayed until midnight. They loved the food, but they loved the stories even more. I realized that people are curious about us just like we are curious about them.
Cultural exchange tips. Share your traditions, ask about their holidays, be a cultural ambassador, exchange recipes.
Now, let's dive into workplace culture. This is where things get really interesting, Emma.
Oh, I believe you. Every office has its own vibe, but every country has its own rules.
Exactly. Workplace differences. Punctuality. Is 9 a.m. exactly 9 a.m. or is it 9:15? Hierarchy. How do you address your boss? Socializing. Do coworkers eat lunch together or at their desks?
I worked in an office where everyone took a long break at 2 p.m. I thought they were lazy, but then I realized they worked until 8 p.m. It was just a different rhythm.
It's a cultural rhythm. You have to dance to their music first before you can suggest a new song.
I'm not a good dancer, but I'm a good observer. I noticed that in some cultures, silence in a meeting is a sign of respect, while in others, it's a sign of boredom.
That is such an important point. Communication styles. Direct, saying exactly what you think. Indirect, using soft language to avoid conflict. Nonverbal, eye contact and personal space.
It's like learning to read a secret code, but once you crack the code, you feel so powerful.
And let's talk about transportation troubles. Taking the bus or the train in a new city can feel like a mission to Mars.
Oh no, what did you do?
I used my survival phrases. I found a small shop and asked, "Excuse me, I am lost. Where's the train to the city?" The lady was so kind. She even gave me a piece of chocolate while I waited for the next train.
See? Even a disaster can turn into a sweet memory. Navigating transit. Validate your ticket. Some countries have strict rules. Download offline maps. Don't rely on 5G. And watch the signs. Even if you don't know the words, look for symbols.
Now, what about the administrative nightmare? Visas, permits, and registration.
The unromantic part of moving. Paperwork tips. Keep a digital folder of all your documents, always bring a pen, and expect things to take twice as long as they should.
Patience is the most important vocabulary word in the immigration office.
It really is. But remember, once that final stamp is on your paper, the feeling of relief is incredible. It's like you've been officially invited to the party.
We've covered a lot today, Emma, from chicken circles to workplace rhythms.
I will never forget the chicken circles. It's taught me that even a mistake can lead to a meal.
Before we finish, I want to talk about the return. Sometimes people move back home, and that is okay too.
Is it? Some people feel like that is a failure if they don't stay forever.
Never. If you live in another country for 1 month or 10 years, you have changed. You have a global mindset. That is a success you keep forever.
Global mindset, seeing the world from more than one perspective, being more patient with others, understanding that there is no right way to live, only different ways, being adaptable in difficult situations.
Beautifully said, Leo. Our journey today is coming to an end, but for our listeners, it might just be the beginning of their own adventure. If you are dreaming of a new life, or if you are already living one, we want to hear from you.
Yes, we have a new challenge. Use our secret number one and tell us what is the funniest mistake you've ever made in English while traveling.
Don't be shy. My son in a bottle and chicken circles are hard to beat, but I want to see your stories.
We read every single comment and they truly make our day.
If you enjoyed this long-form adventure, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube that people want to learn English through real, relatable conversations.
And subscribe to join our global family. We are here every week to be your English-speaking neighbors.
Share this with someone who's feeling homesick or someone who's planning their first big trip. Let's help them feel brave together.
Thank you for your time, your ears, and your hearts today.
Keep practicing, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep being brave.
We will see you in the next episode of English with Podcasts.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.